Why does Thoth have two completely different animal forms? One is a sacred ibis, the other is a baboon. One is a bird, the other is a powerful primate. So why would the ancient Egyptians connect these two completely different creatures to the same god? The answer may be hidden in something both animals have in common, something the Egyptians could see thousands of years before modern science could measure it. But who was Thoth? In ancient Egypt, Thoth was associated with wisdom, writing, knowledge, magic, and the measurement of time. He was the divine scribe, the god who recorded, calculated, and preserved knowledge. And strangely, the Egyptians represented him in two very different animal forms. Most ancient Egyptian deities follow a rigid symbolic logic. A single animal avatar represents a specific divine power. Thoth is the god of magic, wisdom, and writing. In the archaeological record, he is most recognizable in this form, a man with the head of a slender, long-beaked bird called an ibis. However, Thoth breaks the standard convention. He is frequently depicted as a second, completely different animal. This blue statue shows him as a baboon, capped with a golden disc to mark his role as the god of the moon. Biologically, these two creatures occupy opposite ends of the spectrum. One is a delicate, water-dwelling bird. The other is a heavy, aggressive primate. Beyond the physical difference, baboons were historically viewed as agricultural pests. They were known for raiding fields and destroying crops throughout the region. What specific variable unites a crop-destroying monkey and a wading bird in a single mythological identity? Attributing this to a random cultural choice ignores the precision of Egyptian observation. There is a physical logic connecting these animals that we can now measure. The first lead comes from linguistic research. Thoth's name in older North African dialects translates to bright thing or white thing. Applying that linguistic pattern to the ancient Nile environment reveals a very selective process. While several species of ibises and primates lived in the region, the Egyptians ignored most. Of the 3 ibis species local to Egypt, they chose the African sacred ibis, which is defined by its bright white plumage. They used the same filter for primates. Out of various monkeys and baboons, they elevated the Hamadryas baboon, the only species with a silver-white mane. This zoological filtering shows that the Egyptians were prioritizing a specific silver-white palette, selecting animals based on their visual properties. To test if this color choice had a specific purpose, researchers at the University of St. Andrews used optical physics to analyze the light reflecting off these animals. This is spectroscopy. It is a method of measuring the exact frequencies of light waves that reflect off an object, creating a precise optical signature. The team first captured the spectral signature of light bouncing off the grizzled fur of the Hamadryas baboon. When they ran the same test on the feathers of the sacred ibis, the two lines perfectly matched. Finally, they compared these signatures to a third source. The light reflecting from these animals is indistinguishable from the spectral profile of moonlight. The data reveals that these two different animals share a specific physical property. They reflect the exact wavelengths making the moon appear silver. Thoth is the god of the moon, and his animal avatars were chosen because they physically emulate the moon's light. This finding recontextualizes how we view ancient mythology. It suggests these stories weren't just products of imagination, but results of disciplined observation. Thousands of years before the invention of the spectrometer, the Egyptians used the naked eye to identify a specific optical signature in the natural world. The scale of this observation was vast. To preserve this connection, they mummified millions of these animals, treating them as physical embodiments of the moon's light on Earth. Ancient Egyptian mythology was an observation-based system, a way of documenting the properties of the natural world through a divine narrative. The Egyptians had no spectrometers, no modern physics, no instruments to measure the light reflected by an animal, yet they may have recognized something hidden in nature simply by watching it for thousands of years: the ibis, the baboon, and the moon. Perhaps Egyptian mythology was not simply a collection of imaginary stories. Perhaps it was their way of turning careful observations of the natural world into a language of gods. And if that is true, Thoth may have been telling us something about the moon long before science had the tools to measure it.